Have you ever noticed that the first bite you take each morning can shape the rhythm of the entire day? Breakfast seems simple, yet some familiar foods can quietly chip away at energy, heart health, and peace of mind. Today, you will uncover 4 everyday favorites that may do more harm than good after the age of 65. Together, we will explore kinder choices that protect vitality, invite joy, and honor the wisdom already shining within you. Let us begin this gentle conversation now. Sugary cereals and pastries. The morning light pours through the kitchen window, gilding the bright cereal boxes that promise a cheerful start. Yet the moment that crunchy spoonful meets warm milk, it dissolves into a storm of sugar racing through your veins. Energy surges, then vanishes, like sunlight hidden by fast-moving clouds. Many older adults describe the same pattern: a burst of cheer at 7, an empty weariness by 9, and an urge to reach for more sweets by 10. The body tries to steady itself, but the roller coaster ride wears down insulin's patience and leaves fragile joints bathed in inflammation. Consider the story of an artisan baker who spent 4 decades perfecting glazed pastries. After retiring, he greeted each dawn with a plate of his famous maple twists, believing the treats a well-earned comfort. Within a year, routine checkups revealed creeping glucose numbers and stubborn weight that exercise could not shift. His physician suggested a simple experiment. Trade the pastries for old-fashioned oatmeal dressed with toasted walnuts and crimson berries. The first week felt strange, almost like giving away a treasured heirloom. Yet by week 3, his cravings softened. Afternoon naps grew shorter, and waking thoughts felt clearer. Oatmeal is not a bland sentence. Imagine the scent of cinnamon drifting upward as the oats simmer, the gentle crack of walnut halves, the jewel tones of blueberries bursting with subtle sweetness. Each spoonful carries soluble fiber that forms a soft gel inside the gut, slowing glucose release and feeding friendly bacteria. Magnesium whispers calm to weary muscles, while plant compounds shield delicate artery walls. Preparation can be as quick as boiling a kettle. You can place oats, water, and a pinch of spice in a jar overnight, letting time and cool darkness do the cooking while you sleep. If sweet craving lingers, a drizzle of raw honey added after cooking will satisfy without the avalanche of refined cane crystals. Fresh fruit offers color and natural sugars wrapped in fiber, so the body receives kindness rather than chaos. Those with limited kitchen space can keep single-serve oatmeal packets. Just be sure to read labels, selecting versions with no added sugars. Pair the bowl with a glass of cool water, flavored by a squeeze of lemon to aid hydration, and the body's internal engine purrs rather than sputters through the morning. Many viewers share a simple technique that helps keep temptation at bay. Before doing weekly shopping, write a loving note to yourself and attach it to the pantry door. The note can read, "You have come this far. Choose fuel that loves you back." This small visual reminder can guide hands away from sugar-laden options when willpower feels thin. Another helpful ritual is the Sunday jar of joy. Place steel-cut oats, dried cranberries, and chopped almonds in a glass jar, shake gently, and line the shelf with 6 more for the week ahead. Each jar becomes a promise already kept. Every choice at sunrise sends ripples through the hours that follow. When you choose whole grains and natural sweetness, you tell your heart it is worth protecting and your mind it deserves clarity. Breakfast becomes an act of quiet rebellion against the myth that aging must equal decline. With each nourishing spoonful, you affirm that wisdom gained over decades includes caring for the vessel that carries that wisdom. As the day unfolds, steadier energy invites connection, creativity, and gentle adventure. Processed meats. The seductive aroma of bacon curling in a hot pan can feel like a warm hug from years gone by. Yet beneath that comforting scent lies a silent overload of sodium, saturated fat, and chemical preservatives that stack heavy burdens on vessels and veins. When the sizzling stops and the plate cools, the body begins its own battle, scrambling to balance fluid levels and calm inflamed tissues. Blood pressure edges upward, joints may throb more, and the heart must pump with extra force to move thickened streams of blood. A barber from the Midwest once hosted Sunday breakfasts for friends, proudly serving towers of honey-glazed ham. Over time, breath became short during simple chores, and ankles held faint imprints of socks by evening. Medical tests showed narrowing arteries and high blood pressure. Surprised, he traced his meals and discovered that each generous slice carried more hidden salt than an entire bag of pretzels. Guided by a nutritionist, he swapped the ham for scrambled eggs folded with bright spinach leaves and crowned with creamy avocado. Within months, he could climb stairs without pausing and felt a lightness he had not known since youth. Eggs prepare quickly and offer complete protein that repairs tissue and supports immune strength. Their yolks supply choline, a helper for memory and mood. Spinach contributes iron that escorts oxygen to every cell, along with folate that calms homocysteine, a compound linked with cardiovascular strain. Avocado brings creamy texture plus potassium, a mineral that whispers ease to tense blood vessels. When sautéed in a spoon of olive oil, this trio creates a rainbow of green and gold on the plate and satisfies long after the last forkful. For those wary of the stove, microwave scrambled eggs in a mug can be just as tender. Simply whisk, season lightly, and heat in 50-second intervals until fluffy. Add pre-washed baby spinach at the halfway point, letting gentle steam wilt the leaves. Top with slices of avocado kept fresh in a container with a squeeze of lime juice. Minimal salt is needed because the natural flavors sing when not drowned by curing agents. A sprinkle of paprika or cracked pepper delivers vibrancy without added sodium. Research from major health organizations classifies processed meats as clear contributors to colorectal cancer risk. Nitrates and nitrites can form compounds that damage the delicate lining of the colon, an area already more vulnerable after 6 decades of hard work. Choosing to limit these products is not alarmist. It is a grounded step that supports graceful aging. Imagine the colon as a well-loved garden path. Years of footsteps have worn the stones smooth. Pouring harsh chemicals over that path invites cracks and weeds. Gentle foods keep those stones intact for many more walks ahead. Community can strengthen this commitment. Share a photo of your colorful plate with a neighbor or in an online group for seniors exploring healthy cooking. Praise and gentle accountability can make new habits stick. If you live alone and worry about food spoiling, cook a larger batch of scrambled eggs, divide into portions, and refrigerate for up to 3 days. A quick reheat restores warmth and comfort without the chemical fog of processed meat. Budget fears often emerge during dietary shifts, yet plant-forward sides can stretch resources. A bag of frozen spinach costs little and retains nutrients, while a single avocado can be shared across meals. Compare that to rising prices for deli meats, and the choice becomes frugal as well as friendly to the heart. Change often begins with one curious question at the grocery counter. What would breakfast taste like if salt and smoke were no longer the main characters? The answer reveals tender texture, bright colors, and a sense of lightness that lingers long after the last bite. Keep a small journal to note these heartbeats and watch them grow stronger week by week, proof that kind choices create living evidence. Every meal is a letter you write to your future self. When you choose fresh eggs, vibrant greens, and mellow avocado, the message reads, "You deserve vitality." Over months, arteries may loosen their grip, blood pressure monitors may show gentler numbers, and cheeks can regain a healthy blush. The sizzling of bacon fades into memory, replaced by the soft rustle of spinach leaves and the satisfying forkful that follows. The body listens to each sound and sensation, translating them into wellness. White bread and refined flour products. A slice of soft white bread feels nostalgic, like the smell of freshly opened books stacked for the first day of school. Yet the delicate texture that once seemed harmless hides a secret. The moment it reaches warm saliva, it almost liquefies, rushing through the digestion line as simple sugar. Without the protective husk of bran and the sustaining germ, each bite becomes little more than fast fuel that burns out before the tea has cooled. Many viewers recall afternoons when a sandwich on plain bread barely sustained them until midday prayers, followed by yawns and a deep desire for sweets. The body, ever faithful, tries to equalize the spike by releasing insulin, yet this helpful response can become worn down after decades. Over time, cells resist the hormone's knock, and blood sugar stays high, quietly nicking at nerves and clouding eyesight. Constipation can also rise because the colon misses the roughage that once swept it clean. A gentle solution waits in loaves that carry the full story of the grain. Whole grain or sprouted bread offers the chewy bran, the buttery germ, and the resilient starch all together. Chewing becomes a mindful act. Your teeth feel the grain's firmness, your tongue tastes earthy notes, and your gut receives both energy and guidance. Fiber swells with water, creating bulk that moves waste along like a kind usher guiding guests to their seats. One retired librarian shared a simple switch. She kept her beloved toast ritual, but traded white slices for sprouted wheat. At first, the seeds looked strange, yet after a week she noticed mornings felt steadier. Blood sugar checks at the clinic showed smoother lines, and her digestion thanked her with comfortable regularity. The crunch of toasted sprouted bread soon became a favorite sound, paired with soft hums at her kitchen table. Transitioning need not be abrupt. You might start with half whole grain and half white, letting the palate adjust. Toast enhances flavor and aroma, making the change feel like a treat rather than a task. A light smear of almond butter, a drizzle of local honey, or mashed avocado sprinkled with sesame can add joy while keeping nutrients high. Whole grains deliver more than fiber. They carry B vitamins that help convert food into steady energy, iron that supports oxygen flow, zinc that shores up immunity, and plant compounds that calm inflammation. Sprouting unlocks additional benefits, lowering phytic acid and making minerals easier to absorb. Think of sprouting as a tiny awakening inside each seed, a reminder that growth can happen at any age. For seniors with dental concerns, soaking bread in warm herbal tea can soften it without stripping nutrients. Others may enjoy preparing a hearty porridge from cracked wheat for variety, letting cinnamon and raisins dance on the surface. The idea is not restriction, but enrichment. A table filled with colors, textures, and gentle flavors. Grocery trips gain purpose when labels become friendly guides. Look for the word whole listed first. Seek at least 3 grams of fiber per slice, and choose loaves with minimal added sugar. If your local shop has limited options, consider ordering shelf-stable sprouted wraps that store well in the freezer. Neighborhood bakeries may also offer seed-rich breads baked the same morning, supporting local artisans while nourishing your body. Budget watchers will find comfort in the math. Whole grain bread often costs a bit more per loaf, but its satiating power reduces snacking later, balancing the ledger. Health savings emerge as well, since smoother glucose and regular digestion decrease doctor visits and medications. Imagine walking at sunrise, stomach content yet light, joints comfortable, mind alert to birdsong. The choice of grain helped craft that moment. Food is not merely fuel. It is a quiet architect shaping each hour. When you honor the grain in its wholeness, you honor the years that carved wisdom into your smile lines. Your kitchen can become a seasonal gallery. In winter, pair toasted rye with warming pumpkin soup. In spring, add ribbons of cucumber and dill to a sprouted roll. Summer invites tomato slices bursting with sun, while autumn loves apple butter on hearty oat bread. Every season brings new ways to celebrate whole grains and the living earth that grows them. End each meal with gratitude. Feel the gentle weight of satisfaction rather than the heaviness of blood sugar swings. Trust that the colon, heart, and brain all draw strength from your choice. Let the simple act of spreading jam on nutritious bread remind you that you are capable of crafting joy in ordinary moments. White bread may fade like old photographs, but your story continues, vibrant and resilient, written one wholesome slice at a time. In this quiet revolution of grain, each bite is a pledge to keep moving, keep learning, and keep savoring the gifts of dawn. Fruit juices. A tall glass catches morning light, glowing with the bright tones of oranges and apples. The liquid appears wholesome, a bottled sunrise promising vigor. Yet the very process that pressed the fruit also removed the protective fiber that slows sugar's stride. What reaches your stomach is a flood of fructose that races past checkpoints, sending blood sugar up in a swift wave. The liver picks up the pieces, converting surplus sugar into tiny fat droplets that settle silently within its cells. Many people feel that juice equals fruit, yet the body reads them differently. Whole fruit arrives clothed in pectin and cellulose, materials that demand chewing and gradual digestion. The same fruit as liquid slides through the throat in seconds, leaving no time for the hormone signals that shout, "Enough." A senior center volunteer once shared the story of afternoon gatherings where orange juice flowed freely. Friends enjoyed the ritual, but many noticed expanding waistbands and tired eyes. Switching to whole oranges brought laughter when everyone realized the peel took longer to open than the juice took to drink, and that extra time gave the body a chance to listen. Juice can also hide calories. A single 12-ounce pour delivers the sugar equivalent of several donuts, but without the satisfaction of bulk. Over months, this stealth can nudge weight upward and inch blood pressure higher. Some viewers mention restless sleep after evening juice, their hearts beating with too much rhythm during the night. Recognizing the source of the stir can bring relief. Consider keeping fresh fruit within arm's reach on the counter, washed and ready. The bright scent of citrus oils released when peeling an orange awakens the senses and adds joy to the kitchen. If jaw strength is a concern, small segments or softer fruits like ripe pear or banana offer gentle alternatives. Another refreshing idea is the veggie smoothie. Blending cucumber, spinach, a handful of berries, and water keeps fiber intact while delivering hydration and subtle sweetness. The texture feels lively and satisfying, almost like sipping sunlight filtered through leaves. Some may worry about missing that familiar morning clink of glass. Try infusing water overnight with slices of strawberry and mint or mango and basil. The resulting drink offers a whisper of flavor without the sugar surge, and the ritual of pouring remains. Flavored herbal teas served chilled can provide similar refreshment. Reading labels reveals that many bottled juices add sugar on top of the natural load. Words like concentrate and nectar hint at even greater density. When dining out, request water first and decide about juice after food arrives. Hunger can exaggerate cravings. At home, use smaller glasses if indulging, savoring each sip slowly like a fine treat, and pair it with protein or fiber to temper the impact. Stories of reversal can inspire. A grandmother from the coast replaced her 2 daily glasses of packaged apple juice with whole apples and a cup of green tea. 6 months later, routine tests showed reduced liver fat and more stable triglycerides. She reported clearer thinking and a return of gentle morning walks along the shore. The change was not instant, but persistence painted progress. Budget benefits shine as well. A bag of whole fruit often costs less per serving than multiple cartons of juice, especially when seasonal produce fills markets. Freeze extra berries for future smoothies, or share surplus with neighbors to strengthen community threads. Emotions play a role too. Juice often appears in childhood memories of comfort. Honor that nostalgia by creating new versions. Freeze diluted fresh juice into small pops for hot days, or drizzle a spoon of juice over oatmeal instead of pouring a full glass. These mindful portions let the flavor sing without overwhelming the body. Reflect on the sound of a knife slicing through an orange, the burst of citrus into the air, the gentle tug as rind peels away. Each sensory detail anchors you in the present, reminding the heart that simple acts can be profound. Choosing whole fruit is not a denial. It is an embrace of the full gift nature intended. The path away from daily juice may feel unfamiliar at first, yet within weeks, taste buds recalibrate. Natural sweetness in carrots or bell peppers becomes more noticeable, and cravings for syrupy drinks fade. Hydration improves because water steps forward as the hero, refreshing tissues from the inside out. Small steps matter. Even trading one daily glass for sparkling water with a twist of lime can set a cascade of benefits rolling through circulation, digestion, and nightly rest. With each slice, sip, and mindful breath, you declare that the morning belongs to clarity, not chaos. Fruit retained in its original form walks beside you through the hours, releasing energy at a pace as gentle as dawn. The liver, grateful, hums quietly, and the heart settles into a steady cadence. Your choice writes a calmer story on the inside, one that echoes through joints, muscles, and memories. As the sun climbs and breakfast dishes rest in the sink, take a quiet moment to feel the steadiness you have nurtured. By choosing nourishing grains, greens, mindful proteins, and whole fruits, you honored the long road your body has traveled. Aging does not steal potential. It shifts the spotlight onto wisdom, resilience, and the courage to begin anew each dawn. May every breakfast remind you of your strength and of the community that cheers you on. If this exploration offered value, and join this circle of voices, ring the bell so each story finds you at the moment you need it, and drop a comment sharing morning victories. Your experiences light the way for others, turning single steps into a path of health, hope, and independence.